coach is Rick Stewart with allaccesscoaching.com. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button down below so we can let you know when new content's been uploaded.
Now we're going to look at film of the choice play. We're going to look at film out of the choice play from 3x1 formations, from 2x2 formations, and we'll talk through all the different things that are happening based off of what the defense is doing. From a coverage standpoint, we're looking as if we're in a cover 4 type look, where we've got basically loose man on all 4 wide receivers as the play starts. We're in a 3x1. We didn't motion in this case. So our choice receiver is number 2 to the field. Number 3 is the same as if he were number 2 over here. His base rule is to work to 18x2 to the opposite hash of the choice route. As the play starts, we'll notice that our choice route is getting locked onto by this linebacker, and the linebacker's running with them. A fairly effective way to take away the choice route. So the question is, what's the counter for that? How do you adjust? We have plenty of plays coming up. They'll take advantage of that linebacker displacing and leaving no one in the curl area. Believe you me, we've got answers for that. You can see our quarterback's looking at the choice. The linebacker's carrying the choice and bringing him out of his read. He's now going to come to a secondary look. On the outside, we're either going to have vertical releases if the outside receivers beat the corners, or they'll curl it up if they don't. They're kind of running off the field. Here it's kind of dicey whether he's going to continue or curl back. The quarterback's eyes have naturally come over to our number 3. He has a man over the top of him, which means he has the option to flatten it out. Remember, we said against cover 0 or cover 2, he can flatten it out. Basically, this is cover 0 to him. He's manned up. So at this point, he's going to flatten it out to try to create separation, and that's where the quarterback's going to throw the ball. On the outside, you can see that both of our outside receivers elected to continue running vertical. It's hard to see if this was the right decision. Over here, it was close. If he's going to go, he needs to really go. He gets caught, in my opinion, being a little bit indecisive and doesn't make himself a good option. But let's watch this again. Watch the quarterback go 1 to 2. Choice route to the climbing receiver across the field. Okay, he's looking for the choice. Choice is taken away. His eyes come to a second choice, the second receiver. This receiver does a great job of flattening it out because it's man coverage, and it's a good play, 1st and goal. Okay, let's talk about pass protection from this tighter view. The behind view is missing for some reason. Let's talk about which protection we're using. Okay, in this case, we're using a half man, half zone principle. Our zone side is going to be to our right. Our man side is going to be to our left. And our running back would be responsible for anything coming through this front side zone. For us, to change up our ISO looks, we will change where we line up the running back. So if we're running an ISO protection where the ISO side's on the left, we don't always just put our running back on the left side. We'll do different things with our back. In this case, our back did not release. He sensed some pressure on the backside. Though we had it picked up, he stayed in, which was fine. If he thought everything was good, he could release to his hook route. Our quarterback, in this case, we're not doing a roll with him. We're just doing what we call a little mini roll. It's a 3-step kind of retreat out towards the tackle. We like this with a right-handed quarterback because it lets him keep his shoulders downfield and his eyes downfield, as opposed to opening up his shoulders and then having to get re-square. So it doesn't look like much of a roll, but this is a little bit of a roll. He's going to end up right in the middle of his pocket, which is a great place for us to have him as he goes from choice route to his number 2 receiver, who flattens off his route. As we think one more time about how this route develops, in a lot of 4 vertical systems, this receiver would not have the flexibility to break his route off flat. He would be told, get to 18x2 and just see what happens. The flexibility for him to break his route off when he gets picked up man-to-man is a very useful thing. Okay, this play is going to end up being a scramble, but it's a really good example of a well-run choice route. Here we're in 2x2. Our choice route is going to be the slot receiver to the field. As we develop, we have cover 4. We've got 4-on-4 across the board. That's essentially man coverage. As our receiver gets to that decision point, he sees the man covering him way off. He's just going to hook it up and work to the middle to run away from him. And of course, he's open. And ideally, the ball would be thrown right now. Now, our quarterback's eyes are in the right place. He's thinking choice route. He gets pushed off of his spot, and he ends up making a really nice scramble play. I shouldn't say really nice. I guess he picks up some yards. But this is an example of a time when our choice route did a really good job against off coverage. From a protection standpoint, we're running our power protection. So we're going to pull our guard to the play side. In this case, with a 3 technique and a 5 technique, it might be a short pull to the A gap versus a longer pull to the B gap that you get against an odd front. A running back has the option to get out into his route, his hook route. Not a great hook route. This was the very first game for that running back as a freshman. He cleaned things up a lot as we went through the season. You can see our quarterback is doing our shoulder square half roll. So if you want to study this technique, it's kind of, I guess you'd call it a back pedal, a back out to get into the pocket. We had a little bit too much penetration here with the end on our tackle. That forces our quarterback to move. Now, ideally, right now, rather than thinking run, he'd be thinking passing lane. But he's a very good runner, and this is the decision we're okay with for him to take and get yards. But again, you can see our choice route, the number 1 route we're looking for, has off man coverage. He's way off of him, 10, 15 yards downfield. He will start to work, stop, and then work away from him to the middle of the field. So it was a very good decision by our choice route, and a play that, with the penalty, ends up being a 20-yard gain for us. So we did draw the face mask. That's a first look at our power protection. Back to 3x1. Our running back is set to the strong side. We're running power protection again. We'll diagnose that in a minute. As you know by now, our choice route is 2 to the field. Number 3 is going to work across the field, and if he gets picked up in man, he has the option to flatten it out and run away. As you've also learned, our outside receivers are going to go vertical. If they beat the corners, they'll curl it back and run back to the quarterback if they're not able to beat him. Here we're going to throw it to our choice receiver. Our choice receiver is getting picked up in man-to-man. Looks like we're getting a cover 1 type defense. Man here, man here, man here. Safety in the middle. Not sure what they're doing with him, if they're asking a linebacker to pick him up. But identifying man over the top. He's standing right over the top of him and closing off his path. He's going to break it off and run away from him. And because our number 3 receiver works across the field, takes a linebacker with him, this linebacker is going to get cleared with him, there's room for us to throw the choice route over the middle of the field. Could have thrown it a touch sooner, no doubt, but there's a lot of room for forgiveness when you have the chalk last. You can see on the outside both of our receivers were not going to beat the corners, so they chose to curl it up. "17-yard play." As we look at this from behind, we're going to be running our power protection. Our right guard, number 54, is pulling to the front side. Kind of a mess in there. There's a couple linebackers filling, so our running back helps out. Nice clean pocket. Very well done protection-wise. You can see our number 3 working across the field has cleared the linebacker. Here's our choice route, number 1 coming in the window. A good look for the quarterback. The only thing you could suggest is to throw it a little bit faster, throw the ball now, rather than holding it another second. Still a good play.
Coach, is Rick Stewart with allaccesscoaching.com. I really hope this video helps make you a better coach. Make sure you hit the subscribe and like button down below so we can let you know when new content becomes available, because we're all about coaches helping coaches. And remember, Coach, Better today, never as good as tomorrow.